atrocious nighttime attire, and everybody has a good laugh. But
that's an interesting tradition, and one that I'm sure is totally unique.
I bet it is.
I can't imagine too many other families doing that, but I think that's a great one. Why not?
Yeah, something silly.
Yeah, that's good. Are you the type of person, your family, that opens your presents Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day, Christmas morning. And everybody has to be there. So, when my kids were small and we were coming from different houses, everyone came and then we opened presents. So that was difficult when they were little, trying to get everybody there. But yeah, everybody's got to be there for the present opening. Yeah,
always for us it was Christmas Day as well. And also a tradition that I don't think very many people practice anymore. I was watching the other night Gene Shepherd's Christmas Story, classic, and I'm sure it's going to be airing a lot between tonight, tomorrow night, and Christmas Day. But the point of my making that statement is in that particular movie, it showed them decorating the tree on Christmas Eve, which used to be the tradition, I think, for most people in America. And I think that dates back to the days when Christmas trees didn't have electric lights. They had candles, and they used the candles only for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and that was it.
I think you're right. And when we were little, that's what happened. In fact, when we were really, really little, nothing was in the house. No tree, no presents, no decorations. When we went to bed Christmas Eve, everything came out. So when we woke up in the morning, and I think that slowly died as, my poor parents were going to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and we were getting up at 5:30. They said, all right, enough of that.
Right. But you're right. All the decorating was done on Christmas Eve and late at night, and that became kind of difficult. And of course, I think everybody wants to enjoy the decorations as well after Thanksgiving and then after the first part of the new year as well. And as a result, people start putting up their trees much earlier than Christmas Eve.
And I think this year especially, I think a lot of people wanted to have that little extra Christmas joy. So they started a little earlier than maybe normal, but I think it's a wonderful thing. I've seen a lot of lights, more lights this year in my neighborhood than there have been in years past.
It's interesting you say that, Jennifer, because I was going to mention the fact that over the years I've used Christmas lights in neighborhoods as a barometer as to either how well the economy was or how people were feeling. And I thought this year was going to be kind of a dismal year. But as it turns out, I'm seeing a lot more Christmas lights as well, and I think it's people trying to reach out and show that they're not going to let the COVID-19, the pandemic, overcome them.
Absolutely, I think it's wonderful. We are a resilient bunch, thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. Any areas that you've seen that have some pretty spectacular decorations?
I haven't been over there this year, but we go every year. I haven't made it yet, but Cassia Boulevard over in Satellite Beach, I believe it's off of DeSoto.
Yes.
It's a dead-end street. Yes.
Yep.
They do an amazing job every year.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing how all of the houses on that cul-de-sac, and I'm guessing there must be about 15, they all put out decorations. And as I think I had mentioned on the air to Jim Votro last week when we were talking about this, they even have one or two of the houses that have a band, literally a garage band, playing on Christmas Eve. And that really kind of adds to the festivities as well.
It is. It's amazing. If you go over, you turn onto the street, you almost have to wait your turn because there's usually a line. You turn your lights off, you go through. Every single house is just lit up to the max. Sometimes there's archways that you can walk under if you parked. Not a great place to park though, unfortunately, but It's a great street to drive through. Get a little of that Christmas spirit.
But you want to get over there Christmas Eve tomorrow night, I'm guessing around 8 o'clock. And that's where the time where things really seem to light up and warm up. And as I said, they even have a band playing out of out of one of the garages, literally a garage band. And it's a lot of fun. It's very exciting. I'm not sure, Jennifer, if there are other areas in Brevard County that have that same type of festive street decorations. Have you seen any others like that?
Not that unique. I know I have heard of a couple of other neighborhoods. I can't think of them off the top of my head. And I know there are houses here and there that have, and I wonder if Florida Today has that listed this year, but where you can drive by, tune the radio to a certain station, and they have the lights with the music.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some like that, and unfortunately, I don't know where they are either, but maybe something like Florida Today, as you said. Have they published that before? Or?
In years past, they have.
I'd have to try and check that out, but nonetheless, that one in Satellite Beach, that one is pretty spectacular, right off of DeSoto Parkway. Just as you're turning from the beach side, from the far east
A1A,
side
yes.
on A1A, and you want to turn in, and I think it's the first or second block or something like that. And you can't miss it because there'll be plenty of cars there. I think they even have police officers directing traffic.
Probably on Christmas Eve they would need to, absolutely.
Yeah, pretty special.
Did you hear about the Christmas jingle that's happening Christmas Eve?
No, tell me about that.
That is something that I've been seeing on social media for the last, week or so. They're calling it the Christmas jingle. They want everyone to go out at 6 p.m. Christmas Eve and ring a bell for 2 minutes. And if they can get lots of people, it's basically just a way to spread Christmas cheer.
That's kind of interesting. No, I haven't heard anything about that.
I've heard it from a number of different sources, different groups, different people, mostly, like I said, on social media. But I thought what a neat way that would be for everyone, no matter where you are or what you're doing. At 6 p.m. we can all stop and go outside and ring the bell. I plan on doing it. I don't care if my teenager gets embarrassed. That'll even make it better. But just to show some neighborly love and pass on some Christmas cheer.
Well, I know in New York City there have been reports ever since the COVID-19 virus broke out where people at sundown would go out on their balconies and bang pots and pans and sing, and also thank the frontline hospital workers for all the things that they were doing to help with the COVID-19 virus. Yes,
I have seen a video from New York where that was happening, and it was amazing, the noise. But what a great camaraderie that is, and support.
But this Christmas jingle on Christmas Eve, and you said, Jennifer, at 6 p.m.?
6 p.m., and like I said, I've seen it. Check Facebook, different events. You know how they'll create events on Facebook from a number of different areas. 6 p.m. Christmas Eve. Go out and ring a bell for 2 minutes.
I'll have to make sure I do that as well. I've got some jingle bells handy, and go out and do the jingle bell jingle 6 p.m. tomorrow night. That will be kind of fun.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that would be a fun thing, a fun way for everybody to be able to participate and, join together at this time.
Did you have a chance to see the Christmas star?
I have not. I kind of forgot about it and ran out, and it was too late because it's so low on the sky. So I'm planning on making sure I get out there tonight. I saw it Monday night. I saw it last night. In fact, I thought last night, I guess due to clearer skies, I thought it was even brighter last night. Oh. And truly spectacular. Very nice. No, I was doing my running around last minute, replacing Christmas gifts that the dog ate. Really? Yes. My dog ate the gift. My dog ate 2 gifts, and apparently she prefers dark chocolate over white chocolate, which is so bad for a dog. Yes. But apparently my Schnauzer has hound dog in her somewhere, and she thinks she's part cat because she jumped onto the dining room table to get into the... So... Oh, my. And it's a good thing she didn't get sick. Oh, thank goodness. No, she's fine, thank goodness. But... the presents had to be replaced and carpets had to be cleaned. So good thing she's cute.
That is that's funny, actually.
It is because she's okay. It is funny, and that's the only time of year my dog gets herself in trouble is Christmas time. So she is Snoopy at Christmas, and we just have to make sure that everything is up or locked in tight.
Over the years, I've had some of my cats climb the Christmas tree.
Yes.
That's been a trip. One time they climbed the Christmas tree and the tree fell over.
Oh.
So that wasn't, at the time it wasn't funny, but as I look back and tell that story, it's very funny. But it looked like a scene out of National Lampoon's Christmas with Chevy Chase, but very, very funny stuff.
Oh, cats are famous for that.
Yeah. My cat, this one was not Panther that I have now, but this one was Felix the cat. And the name was appropriate because he looked like Felix, the cat, the cartoon character.
And he was mischievous.
That's right. Very mischievous and really got into a lot of different things, but very intelligent. And how could you be upset, actually?
It is. They're so cute. You can't help it. And she knew she was in trouble, so she kept coming up to me for the rest of the night, wanting pets and sorry, Mom.
Oh, that's too much. That is, and how much of the chocolate did she eat?
So the first round, luckily it was a very small package, and that was the dark cherry chocolate. And the second
At least she
round,
has good choice.
she went for the Harry and David. She's very good taste. This second round, which I really didn't think she could get to, was a white peppermint chocolate, and apparently she didn't like that as well. So she has discerning tastes. She opened it all up, but didn't really get into it as much as. The dark cherry chocolate was gone. Not a hint or a smear of chocolate anywhere. She got it all.
Wow. Real quick, when I was a kid, my brother and I, when we were kids, we had a dog named Pongo, named after the main character in 101 Dalmatians.
Oh.
And Pongo, for one Easter, while we were at Easter Sunday services, my mom and my aunt had set the table and all prepared for when we came back from Easter services to sit down for the Easter Sunday dinner. Pongo had other ideas, and kind of like a scene out of a movie where a magician pulls on one end of the tablecloth, and all of the items either stay on the table, or if you miss, they're on the floor. Well, Pongo somehow or another pulled at the tablecloth. Everything, of course, came off because he didn't pull it fast enough. Everything was on the floor, and on top of that, he ate the ham.
Oh, no.
And it was touch and go there for a while. His stomach ballooned up 5 times the size of what it should be. He was laying on the floor going, meh.
Oh.
And not only did he get into the ham, he ate the Easter bread and some of the jelly beans and things like that. It was quite a sight. You couldn't write that one.
Oh, no, that's when I wouldn't have presence of mind to do it, but you should have taken a picture.
Yeah, exactly. But that was quite the scene.
Oh,
quite
my
the scene
gosh.
Indeed.
Oh, it was your grandparents?
It was my mom.
Your mom. Oh, your poor mom.
Yeah.
To come home to that.
She Pongo was on death row there for a couple of hours, and we, as my brother and I, Vern and I, were kids, and we thought Pongo was headed to the shelter. That was it. But my mom got over it.
She eventually forgave him.
Yeah. And of course, it became quite a story to tell.
Oh, I'm sure. So you saying that reminds me of one of our favorite family Christmas memories. I'm from upstate New York, in the country, and a few doors over, they had a Christmas tree farm, a small Christmas tree farm. So they said, you just come and take one and bring it back. So we would go up behind the house, across the fields, and then bring it back down. So never had to hit a road, to get this Christmas tree. So we traipse off to go, axe in hand, my mom, my dad, my sister, and I, the dog, the cat, and the turkey. We had raised turkeys. This was the last one left. It was supposed to be Thanksgiving dinner, and this turkey thought it was a dog.
Really?
It was basically a family pet, so they
Really?
couldn't bear to have it for Thanksgiving dinner. So he survived Thanksgiving, and we have a picture somewhere of us all coming back down the hill, the four of us, the dog, the cat, and the turkey traveling along with the tree.
That's incredible.
Isn't that funny?
How long did the turkey survive?
The turkey survived for another year, I think, before it. And I didn't know this, but turkeys can turn, and he turned, and was not very nice. He had been wonderful up until then, but he turned, and they decided that was enough. And he did become dinner.
Yeah. Wow. That's a very interesting story. I've never heard that before. What was the turkey's name?
I don't remember. My mom would remember. Something that we named it as kids, so it was probably like Gobble, but
Yeah.
it wasn't anything too creative. But
Gobble the turkey. But yet he would follow you guys around.
and he would follow us around like a dog. Hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So
you could walk up and hug him and pet him, and yeah.
I've never heard that before. I always thought turkeys were kind of ornery.
Well, he became ornery, but I guess as a younger turkey, he was smart. I'm going to be really cute, so I'm not eaten.
Yeah.
And he lasted for a little while.
Well, that's an interesting story, and that is in my mind very vividly as you painted that picture of all of you cutting down the tree with your dog, the cat, and the turkey. Gobble the turkey. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Jennifer, we're going to take time out here as we're talking about Christmas memories here on Helping Seniors of Brevard. Jennifer Helin, I'm John Harper, and after we check the weather and hear a couple of items, we'll be back with more of our conversation here on 90.3 FM. 12:35 in the afternoon here at 90.3 FM, Helping Seniors of Brevard with Jennifer Helin. I'm John Harper. And Jennifer, we've been talking about Christmas traditions and all the fixins that kind of go along with that. How about your shopping? How early do you do your shopping, or are you still having to go out today, tonight, and tomorrow to do some shopping?
So the only thing I need to do is to get a replacement
Candy.
chocolate.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm done. I usually try very hard to get it done before the Christmas rush if I can. But usually that last week, I'm still picking up one or two little things.
Do you find that now that your kids are older, is it harder to pick out presents for them, or is it easier?
Oh, it's harder, I think. As kids get older, I've got a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old. Of course, the presents get smaller but more expensive, and they are harder to buy for. You start being boring and getting gift certificates, which aren't nearly as much fun to open on Christmas morning. So I have a good friend who is. Don't know if she's listening, but Miss Katie at the office, Katie Cabral, she started doing something as her kids got older. Their Christmas presents have become experiences. So the family will pick something each year that they're going to get themselves for Christmas, and it's something that they're all going to do together, which I think is a great idea, and I would love to adopt that tradition. So they have done deep sea fishing trips together. Next year, they're going to be skydiving together.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Wow.
braver than I am. But what a fun memory that they'll be creating, as a family. So that's a great Christmas gift. It's togetherness, and it's something I wouldn't do, but but it definitely will be a fun memory for all of them.
A friend of mine gets a Christmas ornament each year that is based on the theme of what her grandchildren did for Halloween.
Oh.
Like for Halloween, if one was a doctor, a nurse, and a wrestler, she gets them ornaments that are reflective of what that theme was. She's collecting these ornaments, and at some point, I don't know when she's going to give these to the kids, her grandkids, but they're going to have all these ornaments from the past. At this point, one is 16, and the others are a few years younger. But they'll all get those ornaments, and I thought that's kind of an interesting gift to give to your grandkids or your children.
So we do something similar, but it's usually the ornament is come from something that we've done as a family through the year. So if we've taken a family vacation, then it will be an ornament from a cruise, or if we've gone to Aruba, or if we went to Tennessee in the mountains, it will be an ornament based on that, and then we write the year on it. And it is fun to put them on the tree each year, because then those are memories of, oh gosh, do you remember when we did this? This was so much fun. So this year being 2020, I thought, we haven't gone anywhere. We haven't done anything. What am I going to do for ornaments?
A mask.
So I happen to be at Long Doggers, because they have a really nice outside section. And they have ornaments, and it's a VW bus with a surfboard on top. And I thought, well, that's how appropriate. We spent the year in Florida, so that is this year's ornament is a Long Doggers ornament. It's our staycation ornament.
That's kind of interesting. I like that. How about your tree itself? What type of lights? We used to have the big lights on the tree, and now we've gone to all of the miniature lights. We've got a couple of thousand on the tree, but I've always been the kind of kid that prefers the bigger lights, but you can do a lot of decorating and look very creative with the miniature lights. How about you guys?
So it's the miniature lights, and I was possibly doing a Griswold. I'm not sure what to call it, but I finally, up north we always had a live tree, but here in Florida I've always had a fake tree. So this year I got my fake tree out and pre-lit. It was not. So I don't know if anyone has struggled out there with trying to find the one.
Oh, it didn't light up. Oh.
Part was lit over here. It was a mess. So struggling with getting the Christmas tree lit is probably my least favorite part of decorating for Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's there and it's lit, so that was accomplished. But now with all the decorations on it, and we have ribbons on the tree instead of garland.
We used to have, and I haven't seen these in the stores for quite some time. We used to have on our tree a set where the entire tree was made up of bubble lights.
Oh,
have you ever
yes.
seen those?
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that was kind of neat, and always enjoyed that. To this day, I like the bubble lights, and wish that I could get some. I guess I've got to go to a Christmas factory, so to speak, in Frankenmuth, Michigan, called Bronner's,
Yes.
where they have everything under the stars imaginable for Christmas decorations.
I have been there. It is an amazing
You've been there?
place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it? And it's crazy.
Yes. What a fun place to walk around. It's just that whole town is just a fun place to witness.
Did you have the traditional chicken dinner after you witnessed that? They've got a couple of restaurants there that specialize in that.
No, unfortunately, I was there on business and found it by accident.
Ah.
So it was a very happy mistake that we got to go over and walk around and go into the store. So would love to get back to that area. It is a beautiful stretch, but
It is. But
didn't get to spend a whole lot of time there, unfortunately.
That store, Bronner's, not only do they have Christmas, but Easter, Hanukkah, you name the season, or whatever the reason, I guess, and they've got the decorations for it. And they also are one of those companies that provide decorations for many cities throughout the country or throughout the world.
Oh, I didn't
that's
know
where
that.
a lot of them come from, and that's Bronner's. When you go to a shopping mall in the parking lot, there's a little candle or Christmas tree decoration hanging from the light pole, and chances are it came from that store, Bronner's, in Frankenmuth, Michigan.
How about that? We learned something today.
Yeah, kind of special.
Very nice.
12:42 in the afternoon here on 90.3 FM, helping seniors of Brevard. And Jennifer, when it's not Christmas time, of course, you've got your business up and running and going. How are you doing with continuing to fight the battle with the COVID-19. What is your staff doing? How are they, knock on wood, how are they able to continue to fight it off?
Yes, so I'm knocking on wood.
Knocking on her head.
To date, we have been COVID-free. All of our clients and all of our caregivers have been COVID-free, thank goodness. We are anxiously awaiting the vaccines. I have been talking to the Department of Health on a weekly basis. The poor lady knows my name. I'm trying not to be a pain in the neck, but yet keep informed of what's going on so that I can hopefully get all of our caregivers vaccinated. And of course, we would love to have all of our clients vaccinated as well.
What have you heard as far as you and your caregivers being able to get the shots?
So officially, we are all Tier 3. Anyone 65 and over, home care and first responders are all considered Tier 3. So they really want to get the healthcare workers, everybody working in the hospitals done first, and everyone in the assisted living facilities, skilled nursing facilities, all of those residents done. And then the people 65 and over, home care, first responders. So it's going to be a little bit more of a wait. I know that one of our medical folks were out taking appointments for getting, I think they were pre-planning for getting that vaccine, and they were already taking appointments. And I understand that a lot of those are being canceled already because they don't have the vaccines in hand yet. So we're all anxious, but I think we're going to have to wait a few more weeks before that's available.
Now, what, Jennifer, are you doing or what is being prescribed for the patients that you serve when you and your staff go into homes to go into the residences to see your patients? Many of those patients are homebound, I guess, right?
A lot of them, are still quite independent, but they're not going out at all. So when we come in, we hand sanitize before we get out of the car. We put our masks on. We often wash our hands in front of folks just so that they know that it has been done. We try to socially distance when we're there, but as you know, it's difficult sometimes depending on the client that we're working with. If they're a very independent individual and they're wearing their mask, we're wearing our mask, that's wonderful. But we do have clients with dementia that don't understand the mask, don't understand socially distancing. That makes it a little more challenging. But one of the great things, thankfully, it's a challenge, but it's a blessing at the same time, is we really are seniors helping seniors. So our folks are in that 65 and over range. We hire 50 and over, but most of our caregivers are late 60s, early 70s. So they're in the higher risk category as well. So they're trying very hard to keep themselves safe. And because they're safe, they're keeping our clients safe.
Now, will your clients be in that Tier 3?
Yes.
Okay, so how will they be able to get their shots? As you said, many of them do not go out. So what happens in that case?
So that's a darn good question at this point. They're talking about setting up different points of distribution throughout the county where we'll have drive-through vaccinations, kind of like they've got at Eastern Florida State with the testing, that we'll be able to, take our clients, put them in the car. We can do a drive-through. My understanding is still they're going to have to wait for about 15 minutes to make sure there's no adverse side effects, and then they can go home. I have had 2 friends so far who are medical professionals get the vaccine, and thankfully they have been just fine so far. So I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful as the second vaccine really starts to come into the area that we are going to see more and more people vaccinated quickly. But I do think we need to have patience, because I think it's going to be a couple more weeks before that happens.
So it'll probably be the first part of January then?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that certainly can't come fast enough, but so far I'm hearing good things about the vaccine. I'm not really hearing any adverse reactions to it. Have you heard anything?
There have been a few. There were 2 over in Europe. When England started, there were 2 nurses that had reactions. And my understanding is there's been 2 more, I think, out in California, but don't quote me on that. So I've been talking to a lot of my folks, who we've been trying to get that information out to all of our caregivers and our clients as we get it. And people are concerned about the adverse reactions. So I'm asking people, call your doctor. Go ahead and call and have that conversation now, so that you know how to proceed when the vaccine does get here. If you have allergies, if there are some underlying conditions. I've read the fact sheet for Pfizer, and it's all chemical. I have no idea what it is. So rather than, guess, give your doctor a call, have that conversation. And then when it is available, you'll know, yes, I want to take that, or no, I'm going to hold off a little bit longer.
Well, when you think about it, you mentioned a couple of people here in the States have had reaction, a couple of people in Great Britain, but just a handful of people versus the number of people who have been hospitalized or they've died from the virus. So just a handful, all things considered. I think that's pretty remarkable.
Right. And the two friends that I've had that are vaccinated, one is an interventional radiologist, and the other, she is a flight nurse. She has worked in the ER for years, and she is really one of the leads and educators at Nightingale. So they are, I consider, myself a fairly intelligent human being, but I'm not medical. They are very intelligent human beings, very medically based. If they're okay taking the vaccine, I trust them. I'm okay taking the vaccine. And so far, they posted they're doing well. So as soon as it's available, my mom and dad are already ready to take it, and I will take it along with them.
Good. Glad to hear that, and also glad to hear that your company is going through such stringent measures to ensure that the health and well-being of the clients that you see on a daily basis are taken care of. First and foremost in your minds is the health and safety of those clients.
Absolutely.
And as you said, your staff taking a lot of precautions in washing their hands and making sure they're wearing their protective gear and things like that. So all very important, and it's happening here for you to make that go smoothly and with no problems.
Yes, and I think we really all, have to continue to be prudent just for the next, I hate to say it, but a couple months, so that we can continue to keep everybody safe. And one of the things, too, that we've been really maybe a little crazy about is if somebody's not feeling well, we stay home. If there's a cough, a tickle, runny nose, nope, we stay home. We're bored, trying to make sure that we are overcautious because we don't want to give it to anyone else. And I know my allergies this year have been worse than any year I can remember. But that means I've worked from home a number of days because, I don't want to be the one that gives it to someone, to my office mates, to a client, to my parents. So I think we do have to still be really careful that if you're not feeling well, don't go out. Don't be around people.
Absolutely. And key points, key things to remember. And Jennifer, hopefully in the new year, sometime perhaps in the late third or fourth quarter, this will be a thing of the past, and everyone will be vaccinated, and we can move forward with what we've known as life here in the United States and the world for a long time.
Yes, 2021 is going to be a much better year.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. And let's see if we can't pick up right now with, I think Joe Steckler is on the
I was
line
hoping.
here
I
with
texted
us.
him a picture before we started.
And let's see if we've got him right here. And we'll put him on hold and see if we can't bring him up here online. Joe, are you there? Joe Steckler?
Yeah, John.
Hey, Joe. Hi, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, is Jennifer on by herself?
No, she and I are on here together.
Pardon?
Jennifer and I are on the air here together.
Okay, all right.
No, go ahead, Joe Steckler. Give us an update. How are you feeling?
Well, if I'm on the air, I'll just let the people know that I'm glad that you and Jennifer are doing the show. I've been out of action for a long time, and I'll tell people all about it in the articles. I've already started writing a series of articles on what I managed to get myself into with this knee operation.
You sound great.
Before I forget it, I'd just like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and thank everybody, all our supporters, for doing everything they have to help us. And I want to thank Jennifer and you for doing the show today. I know that it's a long hour show when you're by yourself, right, Jennifer?
No, not when I'm with you and John.
Well, I tried to call you, but I kept calling it on 722-2888 instead of 9998.
Well, nonetheless, we've got you now, Joe. And Joe, your recovery, they're working you out hard every day?
Well, I have about 3.5 hours of physical therapy every day, and I want to tell you, for somebody 87 years old, that's a lot of therapy. But I want to stress in this coming year the importance of staying physically fit, not carrying any extra weight you don't need, and pay attention to what your body tells you. And I think it's extremely important. I found it out the hard way, but I found it out in a way that maybe I can pass it on to some of our readers and in my New Year's resolution for Hometown News. But I'm doing well, John.
Excellent.
Upper body strength is great. My legs, that's my big problem, my legs.
Yeah. And now, are you scheduled, Joe, in the new year to have the operation on the other knee?
Not yet. I gotta get the left knee working and get myself physically fit. Probably the next operation is about 4 to 6 months out. And in fact, I'm over here at Melbourne Terrace right now, and they're a good physical therapy outfit. And in fact, 2 of Dr. Sand's patients are over here with me, and looks like they did a real good job on them, and they're in good shape, and they're coming along well.
Excellent. Well, like I said, Joe, your voice sounds very strong. You sound great, and like your old self again. And we're anxious to get you back here behind the microphone and helping seniors of Brevard every Wednesday afternoon.
Well, I'll do that. I just wanted to call and just wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and thank Jennifer for doing what 3 people normally do. So how does it feel to do that, Jennifer?
Always a pleasure to be here on the radio, Joe.
You did what?
I said it's always a pleasure to be here on the radio, Joe.
Okay.
And Joe, I wanted to say congratulations. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to you, but congratulations for last week's award from Boz.
Well, thank you. It's all the people that work together and support everything that makes any award possible. I learned that in the Navy in 38 years. That you don't do anything by yourself. It takes people that can jump in and fill in, just like you did today for the radio show. It's important, and that's what leaders are. Our listeners, they can profit by what we say and apply it to your own lives out to our listeners. Pay attention to what your body tells you. It's so important. It really is.
And Joe, before we're just about out of time here for the show today, but wanted to wish you a belated happy birthday, and again, glad to hear that you're on the mend and things are looking good. Your voice sounds excellent, and we look forward to seeing you here on the radio in the first part of the new year as soon as you're ready to come back, and the chair is warm and ready for you as well.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Jennifer, and I'll get off and let you all finish up the show, but thanks for taking me on.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you all and to our listeners, too. Thank you very much.
All right. Joe Steckler, the Executive Director of Helping Seniors of Brevard. And Jennifer, nice having Joe here on the radio again. He sounds good.
Yes, he does. He sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working him hard, which is a good thing.
Yeah. What do you say, 3.5 hours a day?
Yes.
That's rough for anybody.
But that is a good thing. They're working him hard to get those legs back into shape so that he can come back and be on the radio for us and, still be independent and get himself in lots of trouble, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. And I'll tell you what, Jennifer, we are just about out of time for this edition of Helping Seniors of Brevard. And we have had a good conversation here today. We've enjoyed it, Jennifer. I hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your traditions. I hope your dog doesn't get into any more candy.
Thank you, John. Yes, I hope not either. You have a very Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you, Jennifer Helin. I'm John Harper. You've been listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard, heard every Wednesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock, right here on 90.3 FM. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Years have snow and mistletoe.